in a minute, but first, Thursday Night Football. Brady to Gordon, get used to it. 34-yard touchdown, the 500th of Brady's career as the Patriots beat the Colts on Thursday Night Football.
And so not only 500 touchdowns, but Josh Gordon becomes the 71st different player to catch a touchdown from Tom Brady. That breaks the all-time record that was a tie between Brady and Vinny Testaverde. So on his 500th touchdown, he sets a different record.
Vinny Testaverde.
Because he played forever for a whole bunch of teams.
Yes,
Italian-American legend. Way to go, Vinny.
Good news, bad news. Josh doesn't even get a chance to keep that football.
No, he does
not. You're right. Junior high football, American Leadership Academy in Gilbert, Arizona. 7th grader Reed Harris hurdles the defender for a touchdown.
All right, see, I know you famously doctored up a birth certificate to make yourself older so you could play football 1 year when you were too young. I think some of these junior high kids are doctoring up birth certificates to make themselves younger. I think we got some 17-year-olds playing 7th grade football with these highlights we got.
Man, there's a lot of good athletes out there. Man, this is tremendous. I mean, to be able to do that, you know how hard that is? Forget just jumping over and didn't miss a beat.
NBA preseason, Lakers Kings, Ivica Zubac starts the break with a block. Lance Stevenson rewards him with a nice pass for the dunk. Gives us a little
All right, everyone's going to focus on Lance, but Zubac, that's fundamental basketball. Get the stop on one end, rim run to the other, and way to reward your big man for running the lane.
Actually, the pass is just fundamentals, too, but he puts some salt on it at the end.
Absolutely.
All right, finally, Pacers visiting the Rockets. Miles Turner catches a pass down low, puts Marquise Chris on a poster.
He was not good in the playoffs last year, was Miles Turner.
Yeah.
He can be one of the best centers in the Eastern Conference. He has the talent for it. He's got the size. He's got the skill set. They need big things from him this year.
And he was emerging a couple years ago. Maybe took us half a step back last season.
Especially in the postseason. That series against the Cavs was bad for him.
All right, moving on to what will undoubtedly be a very dramatic NBA season. Kyrie Irving is preparing for his second season with the Celtics. Many have speculated this might be his last season in a Boston uniform. Maybe going to the Knicks or even the Nets to team up with another superstar. However, Kyrie tried to put those rumors to rest yesterday. He told Celtics fans he plans on re-signing with the team. All right, Nick, you believe him?
I 100% believe Kyrie Irving, that he woke up this morning believing I want to be a Celtic for life. I'm going to re-sign. The only reason I haven't re-signed is because it would cost me so much money.
Right.
And so...
Explain that to people.
If he re-signs before he hits actual free agency, it costs himself over $60 million. Like, he would be crazy to re-sign right now.
It behooves him to wait.
It's why he would announce
there's a certain when that window opens.
Right, and when he has the extra year of service, all this stuff. So, so it's why he would announce it now but couldn't sign it now. And so you shouldn't read anything into the fact that he hasn't signed yet, because he shouldn't sign yet. But I can believe that and still believe the door is wide open, and I do believe the door is wide open for Kyrie Irving to be playing somewhere else next year. Paul George was 100% certain he was going to sign in Los Angeles when he hit free agency. Yeah. Told the whole world. And things change in 9 months. I made the joke going into break that it's an engagement, but I think it's a very apt comparison. When you get down on one knee and you look the woman in her eyes and say, I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
You have all
I love you.
purposes of doing
I believe in that moment you mean it. And some people a couple days before the wedding like, peace, I can't do it. They weren't lying then. Things changed. And so Kyrie Irving, man, I watched him do a whole monologue about how much he loves playing with LeBron, how much he would be depriving himself of his true basketball destiny if he didn't learn more from LeBron and embrace that. And 6 weeks, not months, 6 weeks later, he demanded a trade. So do I believe Kyrie Irving? Yes. Do I still also believe that he very likely could be playing somewhere else in a year? Yes.
A lot can change. And I believe right now he did the right thing. If he believes it or not, I believe he did the right thing.
Oh, even if he doesn't believe it, he did the right thing.
No, absolutely. Sometimes you just have to say the right thing to keep the ball moving down the court, because you do have to answer the question. Now, he does have the right to be able to change his mind. And someone like Kevin Durant already going there and him being a free agent, those are the kind of things that can change your mind. I think he's probably better off with the Celtics long term. just removing that signing, they have the type of talent that I would enjoy playing with. Now, somehow some of these guys think and everything is totally different. Like, I want my job to be fun, and it's a lot more fun when I got more talented guys around me, and that's what they have, young talent. That Kyrie, as a aging guard, not where he is right now, but where he's going to be in 3 years. I believe he's going to be better off served playing with those young guys because they don't have the knee problems which Kyrie might have. So for me, I would look at that. As far as longevity, I'm better off served being with some younger players. And Gordon Hayward is still there, signed long-term. So I just believe he's better off served being in Boston than being even in a Knicks uniform or being a free agent.
And Brad Stevens is there. And it's got a great franchise with amazing history. And Jenna's guy, the GM, who's been savvy over the last decade plus. Like, he's got every reason to stay in Boston. But I want Celtic fans to understand this. The whole thing that Kyrie Irving could be leaving next summer, I didn't invent that. I didn't just speculate it. It's got nothing to do with the Celtics. This is something people within the organization quietly had been worried about for months. It's why I'm sure they were relieved over the last few weeks. According to Shams Charania, he has been talking with them more about his long-term plans. This wasn't me trying to poke at the Celtics.
Right.
This was in NBA circles. It was a big topic of discussion that Kyrie Irving is strongly contemplating leaving in a year. Now, right now, he might not be anymore, but a lot changes in 9 months.
What do you think the biggest factor will be in him making this decision? What's going to be the one thing next year where he has to sit down and make this decision that will mean the most to him?
I think we can't forget when Kyrie demanded a trade, because he was in a great situation there with LeBron. When he demanded a trade, the Celtics weren't on that list. And there's a reason why they weren't on the list. Is because he preferred to go other places. Now, I believe with Brad Stevens being there, he didn't know how good Brad was. Maybe he just thought he's a young guy that emerging, like how good he's going to be. But maybe being there that he thinks, wow, this is what I need for my career moving forward. There's a lot of moving parts in this, but like Nick had said before, with LeBron staying in Cleveland, man, it's hard to leave if you win. And you imagine if this Celtics is led by Kyrie Irving are able to get to the finals and they were the team that were able to defeat the Golden State Warriors, how you going to leave Boston, man?
100%.
I mean, you saw Edelman last night. There's a reason why that little guy playing for the Patriots is wearing a Celtics jersey. Like, man, professionally, playing in that part of the country, it's a good thing. Playing for the Red Sox for a long time is a good thing. He can create another legacy outside of the finals legacy with the shot and winning, bringing a championship back to Cleveland. I believe it would be even bigger than that in Boston.
Oh, if they were to win the title this year, then of course they're bringing everyone back. I would argue if they make the finals, it's hard to leave, because if they make the finals, assuming it's against the Warriors, you know Boogie's not back the next year. So unless you get washed for nothing, you'd be like, man, we're that close. But when I say things can change, what if you get an unlucky second-round matchup against Philly, and Philly bounces you, and Durant's on the table, and things change in the NBA. And so that's the point I'm making, and that it was generally accepted throughout the league that at the beginning of this offseason, Kyrie Irving was considering his options for the next offseason. Now, over the course of these last 3 months, that has changed. But you asked me what I expect to matter the most to him. And I don't say this to be funny. Kyrie's a different cat. Kyrie is a guy that, while he apologized for talking about the earth being flat, he didn't say, I don't believe it. He then, in the same interview, said when he retires, he's going to live in a self-sustaining community off the grid because, quote, technology is killing me. Like, I don't think we can assign our typical NBA superstar logic to Kyrie Irving, who's just a different type of dude.
Right. All right, we got to take a break. Coming up, speaking of a different type of dude, can Odell and the Giants fix their offense? That's next on First Things First.
Jenna?